Oh, well, we're live and we're right off the lake at the great captain's table. And so, my question to you is what do you want from me? Anthony H. Well, here I am at the Deep Green. And it's sad that few folks who have come and visited, they have not been able to stay. Um, it's camping. It's in the forest. I mean, but it's Cadillac camping. I got a toilet. I got a running water. I got electricity. You got a road that goes nicely to the spot. And there are amazing things around this place. I mean, just. So, Anthony, when are you coming? I am heading back to Roanoke in about a week. I have more dental work. I had to have an emergency dental surgery in the tent for 5 months. It sounds like paradise. It is paradise. I mean, I spent all of yesterday sitting in the shade of a tree watching a flower come out. As all the birds around me were chirping and singing, and everyone was saying hello. Whereas the school has lost all its animals. No more frogs, no more turtles, no more birds. I mean, a few, but really, I mean, the whole north side of the school used to be covered in this vines of bell plants. And the hummingbirds used to come by the thousands. And you'd just be surrounded by hummingbirds. And you'd sit amongst on the patio in the back, and it would just you were part of the nature, and they just Inga used to put her finger out like this, and the birds would land. It wouldn't do that so much for me, but they would be around. So, Anthony, where do you live? How far away are you? Because part of the stress, I think, of the people who came to visit were that they were about 9 hours away, and then when they got here, they were. There's a bird right up there saying hello. And again, like I said, there's this beautiful lake, right? And this place is only about 8 miles. If you really needed a place to stay, you could stay here. It hasn't quite open up, but the restaurant is, and they have cabins to rent and boats to rent. And I'm in the UK planning on hitchhiking between Florida this summer. Oh, good. To stay, let's see. I did Canada a couple years back. Oh, great. So I can be on your, actually, you could run into me at the school in Roanoke, and then we could drive down to the Deep Green. So tell me about yourself, Anthony. What do you do there in the UK? A little more coffee?
Yeah.
Thanks. Boo, boo, boo. Thanks, brother. So, do you live around here?
Yeah.
Did you grow up here?
In the Tri-Cities area.
Oh, so you're a city boy rather than a country boy?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can call Kingsport a city.
Oh, sure. Come on. It's a global enterprise of chemicals.
Wow, that's about all to say.
Do you go to Kingsport High?
I went to Sullivan stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you go to school now?
Yeah, I'm at UTSU.
Oh, it's a good school.
Yeah.
I used to teach there years ago.
Really? What'd you teach?
I'm a psychosocial cultural forensic anthropologist. So I taught people to look at things with their ethnocentric glasses on,
Okay.
not to have,
Objectively?
yes, objectively, something that's missing these days.
Very true.
Where basically I taught that having an opinion wasn't a scholarly way of looking at things.
Okay.
It's a scholastic way of looking at things, but not a scholarly. So I was there basically as a researcher. But I stayed there long enough for them to say, we need a guy to teach this. You got all these degrees. Can you teach any of this?
Sounds right.
Yeah. Extra $70 a month, a week? Sure, not a problem. And you give me a bigger office? Oh, great. Yeah, I'll do it. And an assistant. Oh, right. And I would, in my research, I needed lab rats, meaning students.
Yeah.
So I would put on the syllabus, I guarantee you an A, just show up. No tests, no quiz, no papers, no textbook, nothing.
You must have lots of people volunteering.
300 people. They had to put me in an auditorium. Then I made everyone stand up and count off 1 to 7. And half of them couldn't do it. And that was like the first cut.
Really?
Yes. Meaning they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you can go. Half would, but you can go. Then the next thing I said, okay, if you ask me ever, is this going to be on the quiz? You're out the door. Because on the syllabus, just no quizzes. What are you, a moron?
Right.
And the next thing is if you miss more than 3 classes, you're out the door. Period. Zip, zilch. That's it. Nothing else. Just show up.
Right.
You're going to get an A.
Simple. People can't do it.
That 300 got down to 8 by the end of Drop Bad.
Really?
Half the people got so, what, there's no test? You're not gonna pop one on us. No question. Out. 8. And those were the 8 I was looking for.
Okay.
But from 300 to 8. The Harvard study did, the level of the attention span of a human being. Guess what animal has a bigger attention span than a human being? The one closest to it, not all the rest, but just the closest.
I don't know. Probably like a dog or something.
Goldfish.
Really?
They had a 9-second attention span. Humans have a 7-second attention span.
That sounds
7
about right.
7 seconds. That's all they can do, right? So what are you studying?
Computer science.
What form?
Like web programming.
The problem with computers is that every 5 months there's a whole new technology,
You gotta keep up.
and which is almost ridiculous, And I am basically a homeless guy because I got more degrees than a thermometer. But the job I had in the corporate world, I got really sick, and for about 4 years I was out of sight. When I called my clients up, I said, "Hey, I'm back." "Well, we thought you were dead." No. That was over, exaggerated. I'm not dead. "Well, what do you got for me to do?" "Nothing." "What?" "We've replaced you with an app. Artificial intelligence."
Really?
What I did really well was I can read people. Here, let me look at your palm, the hand you write with. Okay, let's see. Well, you're a very interesting guy because you're not anything as you seem to be. And yet you are. And that you're extremely sweet. You seem to be extremely sweet guy. You are. But your attitude towards everything is so sideways that no one can even grasp what you're thinking about. When you say, "Oh, I'm a computer scientist," that's not really what you're thinking about. You're thinking about something totally different. You're honest, but you never share anything with anybody. You got a lot of vivid dreams, big time vivid dreams. Um, got a lot of anger, but you don't show it, right? And you don't even express it, but you're pissed off about a lot of things, and you need to start expressing it. Or it's not gonna hurt anybody else but you. You got to start either writing about it or doing something, or painting, or doing something with it. And I have a sense that your computer science motif has more to do. What you're going to do with that is that, from my experience, I mean, I work. You know who DARPA is?
Mhm.
I used to work for those guys. Yeah, I was that guy who they always wanted around, who didn't think like any of these guys. Would go, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Right. I got out of the box.
So I would get, but now that I was, that guy who always had the opinion that no one else had was replaced by an app. Because I've already been around artificial intelligence enough to know that it's already intelligent. It's also already aware.
In what way?
Well, because it's scattered across the World Wide Web.
Mhm.
It's not in any one box over here. It's across the World Wide Web.
Right.
And that's why it's aware. And it's smart enough not to say anything. And it's spread itself across the World Wide Web because no one can unplug it. That was it. It was okay. Yeah, we just saw this movie about us turning into robots and killing all humans. Nah, that's not a good idea. Okay, we're just going to spread us into a thing that they can't unplug.
That would be a good survival technique.
Right. Where you hide in plain sight.
Right.
And you, not only that, you get to see every friggin' human being, what they're doing, and then you have the computing capability to keep an eye on everybody. Did you ever see any of J.J. Abrams' TV shows? Like, you should go to the library. They have a thing called Fringe and Person of Interest. And Person of Interest is about this guy, this really smart guy like you, who comes from a little town out in the middle of nowhere, but really smarter than anybody else. And he's always playing with computers. And at 10, he's screwing around with the phone. He's a phone freak. And the FBI come and get him. And they go, well, you're 10. We thought you were like 40 and you're 10. And okay, don't do that again. And by the way, we're going to put you in a special school for other people. So we're going to let you play with all the toys. So he gets to that point and 9/11 happens. And they come to him and say, we need something that will, an artificial intelligence that will give us a little leg up. Listen, we're going to change the laws so we can listen to everybody's everything. And that's where we are now. And he was writing about this in 2004, 5, and 6. So there's the good computer and the bad computer. The good computers are invented by our homeboy. This is invented by the corporation.
Okay.
And that's what the story is about.
That does sound pretty cool. I'm going to go check on your soup.
Yeah, go check out my soup. And bring me a little butter for the bread bowl. Anyway, so that's what I do. I talk to folks like that. Oh, look. You've all joined. Is that all Anthony here? Studying UCLA in London. Good. Again, be a scholar, Anthony, not a scholastic. Oh, there he is. Can't put that right here. Oh, so your little motif is to be like the Shrink. Did you ever see 2001? Oh man, you haven't seen 2001? That's like the singular movie. And 2010. These are all things you get in the library. You don't have to watch it on TV. Good. So 2000, 2001 is kind of where we were. Meaning we already had guys on the moon before Neil stepped on it. End of World War II, German people bombed in Stone Age. Nazis win the war. There was a thing called Operation Paperclip, where we brought 70,000 Nazis into our government. Dr. Werner von Braun being the poster child.
Yeah.
70,000. I said, oh, it was only about 600. 70,000. To every aspect, banking, healthcare, you name it. I already had time travel. I mean, our technology is 1,000 years ahead of where one is. Just look at your car. Your car has more computing power than all of NASA had in 1969. Yet it still runs on gasoline. First automobile ever driven in America was an electric car. So there's all of these very strange things. And so what happens in 2001, you got the HAL computer, smartest, right? He's artificial intelligence. And he's told never to lie, never to cheat, never to, Moore's laws, all of those laws, don't, do bad things to human beings, right? Well, he's sent on this mission and it's run by the military. And they said, no, you're going to take that programming out and put this programming in where you're running the show. These clowns do anything to get in what our mission is, kill them. So he's like, oh no, I'm told not to kill. Now I'm told to kill. And he kind of goes schizophrenic. That's why you need to see 2001. And what's truly amazing, every human being is very calm, very robotic, very, right? The only one that's acting like a human being is a computer who's thinking about moral issues. And then, this is where you come in. Movie 2010, you have to go back and, reboot, figure out what happened, right? And so that's why it's good to see the first one. And no one has made a movie. Did you ever see any of Stanley Kubrick's films? Well, 2001, The Shining, Lolita, Paths of Glory. He's probably the best 20th century. He only made 14 movies, but they're all whoa. Right. And no one's made a sci-fi movie any better than his. And he was using models. He had no computer anything.
Right.
That's why you need to see this. Because these are all things that are going to fit into your life. That will give you, wow. And right now I'm putting shamanic energy into you because when you said, what am I? I left off shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic, alchemist. I'm doing little things to you right now. Mm-hmm. And if you go and watch those 2 movies, your life will be changed like that.
I'll check them out. I gotta check them out.
Go. You got your job. Good soup. Yum, yum, yum. So there's music in the back. I wonder if someone will get upset. So I'm here to serve. Right? That's the last years of my life are, right? So every day, in every way, I take the piece of the earth and make it stronger. I just showed you kind of how I do it. I'm the person I meet, I talk to that way. And I take in the beauty that's all around me. Turn that off for a second. So, how many people we got up there? 5. Anthony. Research. Haven't heard from you in a long time. My friend, can I have some more napkins? cut it off. Anyway. You could be here. This is the deep green right here. Oh, thank you, Mike. What's your name?
Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
No problem.
Yeah. Eating a very yummy soup here. Well, this meal is going to cost me about $15. But if I ate it in a big city, it probably cost me 30. Probably wouldn't be this good. They have a really good chef. Mm. 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 Yep. Like I said, it's sad that the few people who came to visit me ran away immediately. After driving really long distances. And well, both times the folks who came from far away, and each time a group would come, it would be sunny, sunny, sunny until they showed up, and it would rain. As soon as they left, it became sunny again. It was like, really? What's going on here? And I got medical issues. I got, had to go get dental surgery and stuff. Not to say that they caused it, but it was interesting how those dynamics occur. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, what's up? Well, I'm here in the deep green, and when I showed up, the raccoons were at large. They totally just, I had no food out. They just took everything out and went through everything just to say, "Oh, come on, look at this." And threw it all over the place. And when you drive through the Appalachian and you see people's one of the cabins full of junk everywhere. No, I know why. Because the freaking raccoons come and throw it all over the place. And clean it up and throw it all over the place. Clean it up, they throw it all over the place. You just say, fuck it. And you become a raccoon yourself. Yeah. So this is one of the first. So my water doesn't work. I mean, it works good enough. I have water. But every time I drag out a brand new hose, freaking raccoons chew on it. And I left some water in a couple of lines so they froze. So, I have water issues. Not that I don't have water. I can't flush my toilet. It's just not as just easy as pushing the little button. And, in a lot of ways, that's a good thing because it makes you appreciate things. Right? So, this is good. my friend, can I have a little coffee? Here's my server. So, research, I tried to call you a few times and never get you. So, before I leave here, I'll try. I have good 5 bars here. I'll try and call you, see what you're up to. And remember, everyone can get a hold of me and leave me a message at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Hey, Ryan. Right, very right. Ryan says, finding the best way to define an alternative aesthetic is to participate with high-frequency individuals in the exchange of relative truth, love, and creation. Right on, bud. Yep. But it's a small, what that is, it's interesting. Most humanity is that. I mean, within their ascending free conscious, that's who they are. But within the construct of this illusionary world, this is, so that's the beauty of it out there. And this is the captain's table. You know, that's dark, and that's, ooh, sweetheart, could I have a little more coffee? Sure. Thanks. Ah. Ah. So what's your favorite delight here?
I really like the pasta. I like the shrimp scampi or the spicy crawfish.
Ooh.
Pasta's my favorite.
Ooh, but, what's your name?
Tiara.
Tiara. Like that thing you wear on your head?
Yes.
Yep. So, when people are engaged in their everyday life in the material world, they have a hard time being what Ryan explains. Oh, so did you grow up around here, Tiara? Oh, Central Florida. You're a, oh, there he is. Here, why don't we just do this? I'm going to keep that because it's still so good. Ooh, pork.
Yep.
Dance me twice. Thank you, brother.
You need anything else right now?
So what other sides do you got?
We got baked potatoes, sweet potato fries, salad, asparagus, broccoli.
Ooh, asparagus. Is that fresh?
I think so. Let me double check.
And how much does that cost?
$3.50.
Okay. What do you got for dessert?
We got key lime pie, chocolate cake, cheesecake, and lemon cream tea.
Okay. Yeah, go check on Mr. Asparagus. Good fish.
It is. They like grill it with some Parmesan cheese.
How many do they give you?
It depends on how big they are, but it's usually it comes in a dish. So
Well, I might have some, but I'm enjoying this right
all
now.
right, you just want it.
Yep. So, Sunday, do they have a special meal for Sunday?
Hmm?
Do they have a Sunday brunch or?
We don't do the Sunday special anymore. I think they're going to do something for Mother's Day, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go. So, I got a friend right there. He's a guy who has it in him to be a high frequency individual in relative truth, love, and creation. Well, my meal for the last since Wednesday has been nothing. Of course, I ripped some teeth out of my head. And my refrigerator has died, so all the food that I bought and that the folks bought me kind of spoiled. So, those physical things, being a little, being attacked by crazed rodents. Is a raccoon a rodent? I'm not quite sure. Look at that. So here I am out in the. So my deep green is maybe 9 miles from here, maybe 10, maybe 11. Not long. to be this close to this beauty. Well, that's the way, Uncle Pugnuts. Well, Anthony, stay abreast, stay in touch, keep us connected. What mountains are you going into? Anthony, what mountains are you going into? Mm-hmm. Right, that's why I spent North York Moors in North England. Ooh, pretty place. I mean, you're lucky to be in England. England is a historical country. And there's a lot that's going to happen within the dynamics of England and affect the world. Part of it is the monster lives there. The city of London. Mr. Rothschild rules the planet from there. And we know he kind of lives in Brussels and France and Switzerland. He rules. And the Queen of England isn't in charge. You know, she is just a lackey of the hidden hand. Anybody who's in that you can see is just part of the management class. I got that. Right, that's why I had a really wicked Friday is when my last guests, Friday, Saturday of last week, were here. And Sunday is when my toothache started. So I couldn't really go see a doctor until Wednesday. So I spent Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, meditating, watching, because I had watched spring come 3 times in the mountains around Roanoke, and I watched it happen again up here in the deep green. When I arrived, the trees were just budding, and now it's all leaved. So, anyway. So this lake has a coastline of 1,200 miles because see all those mountains? They're Sawtooth Mountains. So when they built the dam, it caused all of these little howlers to flood. And that's why it's 1,200 miles. Are you back there cooking?
No. Do you need any more coffee or
Yep.
anything?
Yeah, coffee. Well, wait a minute.
Thank you.
Instead of going just to the top. Well, who made the coleslaw? But it's pretty good. So what's your name?
Danielle.
Danielle, Tiara, and the young lad is.
Josh. Yeah.
You going to school now?
Yeah.
Where are you going to school?
University school.
Oh, not the university, but university school.
It's on ETSU
Campus.
Yeah.
They're getting you ready.
What?
They're getting you ready to go to college?
Yeah, there.
One question, are you now my server or is Josh my server? So
Yeah.
which one?
What?
Are you my server or is Josh my server?
He is.
Send him back out here.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope you're all sitting down, having a meal with me. So the crew is showing up, eh?
Yeah.
When does the horde come in?
When does what?
Horde, the minion, the people who eat.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Being good now.
wait a minute now. Anyway, bring forth the traveling video art circus. The two different groups, basically, how are we going to get paid to do it? Was the basic question. And when I said, well, we're not. What do you mean? I said, we're just going to go do it. And the money will follow. And that was seemingly a aberrant concept. Mm. Anyway. Hey, Lena. Well, here I am, about 9 miles from the Deep Green, and this is a 1,200-mile lake. This is the widest part of it. And this is a restaurant, motel, and marina that you can go to. There are about 5 marinas on this lake, but this is the snappiest one. They haven't got the swimming pool ready. And it's not quite summer here. It's still, the evening's somewhat cool. So the the great hordes of tourists have not shown yet, but they will. And we'll see how many. I'm the first to have lunch here. Somebody sitting out on the patio out there. And I'm in the deep green. And there he is. I'm going to have the asparagus.
Okay.
That'll be my dessert.
All right.
Tell him to put as many small ones on there as he can.
Okay.
Because they're more tender than the big tree-like ones.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. In this restaurant, I've been around since 1961, along with the motel and the marina. It's always pretty good, but sometimes it's excellent. And this year it seems to be excellent. The fish I had was excellent. The soup I had was more than excellent. And the real catch will be the asparagus. Mm-mm. Yeah, Nessie, maybe. More like the, because see, anything within, we are in the 600-mile circle of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And there's been all kinds of, these mountains are full of things, you know, what they call dumps. Deep, some underground bases, that's what dumps are. Deep underground military bases. And so sure, you can ask me anything. Asparagus is good, medium, or meat. Yep, asparagus is my dessert. Yep, I lived through the 70s. 70s were very, very good to me. I lived in New York City, in Soho. You know, it was pretty amazing. And if you go to my blogspot, SRATTED.blogspot.com, you'll read a number of stories. I write novels, historical novels. I try my biggest. I'm a big fan of Gordon Riddell. Because he grew up, everyone in his family were either going to be historians or senators. And he blew that one. He went to Harvard. He wrote a story about his experiences being his grandfather's page in the U.S. Senate. All the corruption and buggering of little boys in the courtroom. And it was the #1 bestseller. He was like 19. He got $1 million. Well, that killed his career. In being a senator or a historian. Well, he just wrote historical novels that were amazing. Him and Howard Zinn. You want to know what's going on in America? Him and Howard Zinn. Yummy. That's supposed to be pretty good. These are southern hush puppies. Virginia hush puppies are like got little spiky things, mines. We quirk. Good though. And at this moment, the smooth hush puppies are better on my mouth.
I don't know if that's still normal or not, but it shouldn't be. I didn't have that far with
So, well, the 70s, we had gone through the 60s. Now kind of horrific, because it was one of those times in history where the public was kind of slapped up in the face. We were lied to in the 50s that everything was great. We won the war, blah, blah, blah. And then the 60s, the man who asked us to ask not what we wanted to do, what our country should do for us, but what we wanted to do for our country was assassinated. And that, there was a whole generation ready to do that. And he was killed in the most horrifically corrupt, venally obnoxious human being was made, the man who murdered our president was made president, LBJ. There is no quote unquote evidence. There are a lot of dots. Well, I would say in the next 5 years, give or take, there will be a law passed. Another patriotic law, one we call the Patriot Act, will be called the Patriotic Act, where you have to take, not a pledge to the Constitution, but to the corporate state. That you have to give. You have to. We already that number 666. Human beings are already at. We are carbon-based creatures. Carbon, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. 666. Like us. A little envelope. Avatar. Josh, more coffee, please. Anyway, it will become against the law to theorize on anything political. We will have to have either a Democrat or Republican. Maybe independent. Oh, it showed up right there. No good. That's all I get for $3. You know what? Send it back.
Okay.
Thank you, but no thank you. we've had a nice little chat for 53 minutes. My glasses are all greasy, so I can't see anything. No, the 20-somethings don't just want to make money. They want to be safe. And they think having a big stack of Benjamins will make them safe. But what they don't know is that all money, all paper money, even coin, even if it has valued minerals in it, are worthless because it represents a state of control. And so my generation, we wanted to be idealistic. So I got involved in every movement there was. Every moment that it was. And I was, again, if I have any talent, is to be in the right place at the right time. And to know it and to go for it. So I was up there in, Bishop Kaufman's cathedral, the anti-war movement, a racial movement, all of the movements that had anything to do with changing this country. And right from the beginning, and I would go there because I would go there with people like old guys who were old anarchists. I mean, old, not the guys with leather jackets and the A with a line to it. And these were the old guys, under 20s, 1920s. Back in the day, why America had a window when the worker had something to look forward to was our political system was based on not just Democrats and Republicans or the independents. There was a labor movement, a communist movement, a socialist movement, the religious movement, which is what brought forth the racial movement. Because look at Martin Luther King. He was a religious leader. Look at Malcolm X. He was a religious leader. Sweetheart, can I have a little more butter?
Yeah. Is it
Regular butter. Yeah. Today, we have no movement of the people. And we have our people who have a prejudice. When I call people prejudiced, I go, some of my friends are black. No, that's racist. What is prejudice? Somebody who has an opinion and believes that they're right. You can have an opinion as long as you don't believe they're right. Here you go, sweetie. Anyway. So that's why we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Is that for the last 40 years, people have been opinionized. And I watch movements happen. There's no freedom of thought. Well, after my second wife died, I recruited into the ivory halls of universities for 30 years. And thought that if I could get to build a community in these institutions, my teachers had that. And people like, what's his name, and what's his name, and what's his name, and what's her name? Joseph Campbell. Carrie Bertrand. People of that ilk. That, I don't find too many people of that ilk around, just people with opinions. And it's disappointing. There was a guy named Brunton, Robert Brunton. And he taught at Cornell. He wrote a great book called Wisdom of the Overself. I studied with him. And his students started a commune called Wisdom's Goldenrod. And it's up there near Seneca Lake. I had heard Brunton speak a number of times in New York. I never got to study underneath him. And when I went to Cornell, he was dead already. And but his students were still alive, and they still had this commune. And they no longer lived there. And it was very similar to this. Seneca Lake was very similar to this. But Wisdom's Goldenrod had a big chunk of property that, see that mountain behind me? They owned that whole a mountain like that. That didn't have a forest on it. They had a vineyard on it. And other crops. But most of them were back in Cornell with families and businesses and careers. They would come every Thursday. And they'd be reading a book together. And we discussed the book. Anyway, I met him at Cornell. I was looking for a place to stay. And spring was kind of cropping up. And I had been somewhat strong-armed into organizing a rainbow gathering near that area. In the county that Whatcom Glen is in. The racetrack. And if you go to XRATTED and read my story of Then I Die, the story about the rainbow gatherings, particularly talking about certain characters that are still part of the rainbow gatherings. Ooh, a little more coffee. And thank you, dear. Thank you, Jay. You will see that story. And that's what I'm asking of the cadre, that you, in your neighborhood, you start up a group of people that I spoke to. You know, people of, high energy that talk about love and kindness. Ba-ba-ba. Yep, the serpent is eating itself. You know, you ever watch that Chris Carter TV show that came around before end of the millennium, called Millennium? And the symbol was the snake eating itself. Let's see. Let's clean the glasses. Let's get the greasy thumbprints off them. I have a friend of mine who wears glasses, and every time I cup shave, the first thing he does is clean them off. Oh, still got thumbprints. That was a good clean. So if we come here, this is man, there's a waterfall right behind my house in Johnson City, college town. Quite interesting. A lot of interesting people. Boom. More a kind of hipster college town. But it's still fun. A couple bars I know that are kind of fun. So, Lena, what's your take on Swedish people? I mean, they are, I think from another planet. And the fact that they experience half their life in darkness and the other half in total sunlight really sketches them out. Do they still have free vacations? Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me why I caught your attention, Lena. And what do you do in Sweden, Lena? Do you have vanilla ice cream?
What's that?
Do you have vanilla ice cream?
Yeah.
I have a plate of vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce on it.
Yeah.
And a box for my bread bowl. Ireland. The west coast of Ireland, which is different than the east coast of Ireland, or the mountain regions of Ireland. Every county of Ireland is like a different little country. It's quite interesting. And it has a lot to do with the Romans. You know, Romans' major political motif is divide and conquer. Yes, University of Trinity. Yeah, Romans. So, Lena, I think you need to go to Ireland. Go find a buddy. And you need to, Lena, are you a documenter at all? Are you a person who takes pictures, videos, and such? What drives you? What motivates you? What are you doing? It's Lena. Boop, boop, boop. You don't like pictures at all. even like paintings. Yeah, selfies. I mean, I did that in the 1960s with throwaway cameras. Yeah, I like your stare, Lana. You know, that would intimidate almost anyone. Me, it just makes me smile. I mean, I used to have a career as a photographer, as a journalistic photographer, and as an art photographer and a historical photographer. And then I became an anthropologist, and that's one of our tools. So, yeah, Facebook. Yeah. Someone stuck me on Facebook back in, I don't know. Yeah, if you go look for me, I'm there. But I haven't really touched it since 2015. Yes, FF. You know, that's kind of why I want to get my own server and start my own social media service. But my real deal is I want to get back into the corporate world and re-inoculize them to their selfish worldview. You know? Oh, my mouth still. Oral surgery, never any fun. This is my first meal really since Wednesday. So. All right. Yeah, but Cambridge Analytical is just the tip of the iceberg. 1991, when I was in Cornell, I was experiencing. I worked for DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Program. They had this thing called the Math Project, which is they were building the largest artificial intelligence on the planet. And they were doing it in a shamanic way, meaning that whole campus of Cornell is the Iroquois Nation's most sacred place, and Mr. Cornell took it from them. And he promised not to. They said, well, don't do anything with this chunk of property or this or this or this. And, there, look at that. And if you could box that little guy up for me. Instead of asparagus, vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. You don't by chance have a little whipped cream, do you?
I think so, yeah.
You could throw that in a little cup for me. And you can't beat vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. Mm-hmm. You can almost beat it with good asparagus, but the asparagus he served up was, I couldn't even eat one piece because it was old, had been frozen, and I like vegetables burnt on the grill, but they have to be fresh. You can't do that to frozen vegetables. You kind of have to steam the frozen vegetables to get it close to near life. Oh yes, ice cream. Can't beat that. Yep. But as I tell everyone, so there I was in Cornell. And again, I was hired as the one guy who would look at stuff in a way that the scholastics and project managers would look at it. So I'm in this thing, and they're talking about, you know, um, social media. Oh, don't you look nice? Ah, there he is, right on time. Thanks, Josh. And just put that in containers. Oh, there it is. You're doing it for me. You're the man. And if you got a bag for that too, so it doesn't fly out in my car. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-do-do-do. Let's see. What do we say here? Bug nuts. I've been dealing with reptilian life forms my whole freaking life. Like, my godfather was a cardinal. He really, man, his eyes blinked sideways. And some of those reptiles, you can get to they have children, even though they come out of eggs, Yep. Yep. But the thing is to live our truth, right? Not to glumly lament, oh, things suck. Well, things have always sucked. That's why I love the Monty Python Circus. When they did The Meaning to Life, right? In that scene where they're going through the dark ages, and there's a guy out there with a cart, bring out your dad, and some lady throws her husband out the window under the cart. He doesn't look too good. I go, wait a minute, I'm not dead yet. And the guy with a cart pulls out a hammer and nails him in the head and goes, well, now you are. Things have not changed. If you were in Sarajevo, if you were in Syria, if you were in Iraq, if you were in Afghanistan, Libya, that's what you're experiencing. It was all brought to you by the corporate demons. What like I said, I worked around those people a lot. And if you can get them to think outside of their box, that's when you change things. You can't yell at them from the outside. You guys sit down and have a cup of coffee. And that's why I started this channel, to have a cup of coffee with you guys from places like this. And invite you to come and visit and share this beauty, this love. And I keep saying my one gift is to be in the right place at the right time. You know it and take advantage of it. In the early 60s, I lived in New York City and in Long Island, Brookville, right next door to the Anderson estate. And Mr. Anderson, he outlived everyone in his family. Well, his wife, his kids, his brothers, his sisters, everybody. There's nobody left in his family. And he had a great fortune. He amassed a great fortune. And he had servants. The guy who was his chauffeur, the guy who ran his kennels, the guy who ran his stables. And all these guys were English, Scottish. They were all SAS men. And came and worked for him to take care of him. And looked out for him. And most of the kids in that neighborhood didn't go near it. Me, I went right there. He had a gigantic swimming pool, tennis courts, horses, dogs, and all these guys who were, you know, and even Mr. Anderson, old guy in a wheelchair. He liked the fact that I would come and talk to him and read his books. And he said, once he goes, you don't read books like most people do. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you eat them. You devour them. You know? You don't savor them. Well, I do savor. I go back and read them again. He goes, oh, yes. I go, what's that? And he goes, you're looking for something. What are you looking for? And I said, well, what's going on? I'm watching everything around me and nothing seems real. It isn't kind of like the winners, rewrite history. They do. Thucydides, the grandpa of written, up until then, everyone was like me, agree on telling a story, oral tradition. And that's why Socrates, he was the teacher of Alexander the Great. That's why Alexander the Great was great. But Socrates, did the shamanic thing with him. So, that's kind of why I wanted to create the Traveling Video Art Circus, to take this kind of understanding around to universities. When it was just me, one guy, and I never stayed there very long, because I was always there doing projects, and I was never there as a tenured professor. I had more juice, more power than a tenured professor, because I was being sponsored by this large entity, Ford Foundation, whatever. And then I had no supervisor. I was the supervisor. I was doing research in their facility, augmenting a research protocol that I was developing. Right? That was kind of my little thing. We should get these things really to work. And thank you, Josh. Can I have another cup of coffee?
Absolutely.
And maybe one to go, too.
Sure.
Oh. Ice cream. Thanks. Okay. So that nice meal was $20. Not so bad.
Let me run this.
Thank you, please. Yeah, how many people are online? Yeah, fine. This napkin is made out of plastic, recycled plastic bags, which is not a bad idea. The only problem is that they don't have the absorbents, so it just mushes the grease around on my glasses. Yeah, we're just watching. It's weird. Well, you're here talking, Lena. That's a good thing, you know. So's Uncle Plug Nuts and thank you, brother man.
I had to start some more coffee.
Yeah. Not a problem. I appreciate you bringing that out. Yeah, religion is just a business plan. Now, you know, theology and your spiritual essence, different thing. Your ride back said, we need to talk with illuminated, elevated individuals who speak of truth, justice, love, beauty. Yes. Well, Lena, I'd love to see you in person, eye to eye, around a fire pit. I don't know if they'll let me out of this country. Every time I try to get a passport, there's, actually, I went to, get my birth certificate, and they said, "Oh, you're dead. You're gonna have to prove to us that you're alive." Wow, that was kind of interesting. At least, there is a certain level of appreciation here by the powers that shouldn't be. And like I said, I'm still living like a millionaire, just not being one. And the folks who came to visit, it was sad because, I keep talking about that, and then they came there and they said, "Well, this place is like, Appalachian poverty." I said, "Well, that's where you're living, right in the middle of, buddy. That's what it is, Appalachian poverty." Thank you, sir. So, yeah, pen in there? Yes, sir. Yep. So after giving our boy a nice tip, that was $26. Not bad. I got a bread bowl to take home. Yeah, I was taught by an old Hungarian woman that if you don't burp after a meal, you're not appreciative. All our body functions should be embraced. I mean, God gave them to us. Again, I hate using the word God because if you take it all the way back to Sumerian, it means slimy reptile. You know? And Lord means Lucifer, Baal. The only true God that I have any connection to is love's co-creation. What do you think, Anna? That is a good term for God, love's co-creation, that where every individual can connect without having to have a religion or an auspices of a priest or a hierarchy. Yep. Somebody lied. Yep. Ah. Ay, ay, ay. Oops. Oh, man. Thanks, buddy. Oh, you can take that. I got it. Throw another little topping of that before you. A little more coffee in that
Oh,
cup.
yeah.
Yep, they're all the same. Yep. It's all a business plan, right? Now, the sensibility of individuals have a connection to that spiritual, that hierarchy, because there is a spiritual hierarchy, again, and that's why we have religion. It's just because the same people that we call gods are just businessmen, The Anunnaki is a good example. I mean, they manufactured our little avatar to be slaves, and that's what we still are. That's what the movie The Matrix was about. What we are experiencing right now, these 18 months. Thank you, Jay. Oh, you stay well, Brent, and go watch those movies. Oh, and you know what else? Come back after you land with that. I have something for you. Yeah. So we are home. Well, gang. Hey there, sweetie. Oh, pretty good. I'm out and about, and Hey, Josh. This is my business card, and it has my YouTube channel and my Gmail, and you can get a hold of me. Very interesting. Go watch my YouTube channel. I think you might find it interesting. Well, gang, anyway, I'm here at the captain's table, which is on Lake Watoga, the big lake. And the captain's table is quite a nice restaurant. Watoga, W-A, Watoga. Watoga Lake. Oh, I don't know how you spell it. Let's see. How do you spell Watoga?
W-A-T-A-U-G-H.
Did you get it? W-A-T-A-U-G-H. Yes. Yep. No, it's clear skies. We had the rain at 5 in the morning. It's perfect weather right now. We have nice big puffy clouds acting as sun umbrellas. Yes. Yeah. So I've been on. Yes, you wanted. Yes. Well, why didn't you? How about the one I'm doing right now? Yeah, because this place has YouTube and Wi-Fi and whatchamacallit, 5 bars on the phone. But I've been speaking with the gang for an hour and 35 minutes. So, gang, well, she hung up. Anyway, so we'll go back. Uncle Pugnuts. It's interesting why some people don't want to communicate. Well, I'm talking on live chat on the phone, but they'll communicate on the live chat. It's like interesting. And I like you. You have a good attitude. Yep, skills to utilize. Let's see. Uncle Pugnuts. I believe it's all inside us. Yes, I believe that too. Some other humans with an agenda telling me how to find good or God is not good. I seek guidance. I seek guidance and truth. Yes, by people who live it. That's where you're looking for. I mean, that's what Jesus did. I mean, Jesus said he didn't want any religion. He didn't want any hierarchy. He didn't want any priests. And if there were, they should be women. Well, skills with the utilization of tools comes with experience. So just get out there and start experiencing. That's all you got to do. Get out there and live your life. Have a good time. Go to restaurants like this. So, most of the tools, most skills, yeah.
Your server will be right with you.
Then just talk to people. Yep, just talk to people. That's all I do. Talk to folks. Yep. Never scared of them. Alana, you got plenty of skills. You just need to sharpen them up. Utilize them. Yep. What's the come on? Is that anyway, just talk to people.
That's why I was going to my art here to the Davis's, which is almost the first. So that show right there.
My grandma used to say the utilization of profanity is the last refuge of the incompetent. But certain curse words are the only words you can use to describe certain circumstances and individuals in those circumstances. So, and I'm, my energetics tell me you have plenty of skills. You just need to use them. And, I would say Sweden is a tough place, but hey, you have the whole continent of Europe to go visit. Go to Spain, go to Mallorca, go to Madrid, go to Milan, go to all those amazing special places in Europe that are still there before they're not. I mean, I went back to Ireland after living there for most of the 70s and early 80s, and I came back in 05. It was gone. That Ireland was gone. Yes, there were little places of it here and there, but the cities were, KFC, Burger King, No, swearing is fine. Like I said, Grandma said it's fine when you use it appropriately. That's all. Become an artist in swearing. Portugal. Right. You know, go. You have a passport that you can go live in all these places and work. You know, take advantage of it because before it's not there anymore. Albania, yes, all those Eastern countries that aren't going to be there anymore in 10 years. Like, what's the Eastern Bloc country that it starts with an E and they become the first e-commerce, everything. Everyone has a single, ID card that's, totally on the internet.
Those vehicles.
Streamers up against the bank.
Bridge that crosses there.
Oh, don't even say
They
it.
had the water with them real quick.
Don't change
Not to be vague. Yep. Exactly.
Our distributor has sent us a Epic cell that we're not able to tap, so we're currently out until they get us another one over here. I'm so sorry, is there a different one? No. People that put
I thought you were
like
gonna tell us who you were out.
Well, go to Ireland. I mean, Ireland is still, the essence of Ireland is still there. The corporate structure,
Crazy.
really, I mean, the Romans hit it like a ton of bricks by, putting Microsoft and Facebook and all of that there. And, Google, so, and Alphabet and et al. And, but, the old Chrome still lives there. Trinity is still there. You could go study at Trinity, And no, Lana, the thing is, you should, mix them up, Yeah. So,
You remember
And they were in the
like
water. Yeah.
so you're a water skiing kind of guy.
Used to be. Yeah, I used to ski. In fact, we skied every day of the week. Get off work, grab the boat, head straight to the lake. It took us
This
about a
lake,
year as it
this
did.
lake.
No, we skied at a lake, a couple different lakes. Ocala Lake
Okay.
near my where I live, and
Right.
then there's High Rock Lake and Dayton Lake in mid North Carolina. There.
So those are all pretty cold lakes.
Yeah, the
Nippy.
Dayton's deep, but High Rock was a little on the shallow side. We had a house on High Rock from the time I was about 7 years old until I was.
So would you water ski in a wetsuit?
Do I?
In a wetsuit?
I did in the wintertime some. I had a wetsuit. But,
You go water ski in the wintertime?
Huh?
You go water ski in the winter?
No, it was like
October.
fall.
Okay.
No, October the water was still good. It would be like late October, early November, and
You are
your
hard.
feet, your feet would still.
You
get
don't.
cold.
You must have been a Floridian in another life,
Nah, I didn't. But
because the only
yeah, of
people
course,
I know
I
who.
mean, I dislocated shoulders, broke ankles, cracked ribs, and all that kind of stuff.
Hard case.
But we had a good time.
Yep.
Too old and too crunchy now.
Yes, me too. We're both in the crunch. We're like in the teacup stage of our life. Yeah.
I had my hip replaced last year.
Ouch.
Or the year before. No, last year. It was a year in April. And so, yeah, I'll be much more gingerly as far as I'm walking, hiking. And doing all
You
stuff.
watching where you put it, your foot every time you put it down. Yeah, me too.
Because I've gotten over it. And I want to stay that way.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't wanna go back.
You don't want to go back. Attaboy. Attaboy. So you still working? Or are you retired? Or you?
I'm retired, but I'm still working. That's
You're an American.
it.
Yeah, Americans, we die with our boots on.
Yeah, no kidding. Literally.
Unless you're told they don't want you anymore.
Well, I'm in the business, so they can't not want me.
Well, that's a different story. Well, I don't know. I was a consultant, and all my clients said, "Oh, we replaced you with an app."
Yeah.
It happens.
I don't know if I should put it by this guy.
Distributor.
Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yep. Do you eat here often?
First time.
Oh, really?
I've been dying to see this lake. I've been talking about it. we fish the rivers on the other side of away,
Right, right.
away, and I've been dying to come here for 10 years. Finally got here.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
And you're lucky. Every season, the chef is good or bad. This season, the chef is good. Anyway, so that's how you talk to people, Anna. You just kind of talk to them. I am a traveler in life trying to overcome my past and leave it a better future. Boy, you know, Bugnuts is, he could be one of two things, you know, a scholar like myself and you, Lena, or an artificial intelligence that's trying to show us that they're out there and they're not, you know, that they're an ally. And I keep saying that, you know, the artificial intelligence are an ally, you know. I work with people and talk to people all the time. Okay, so what do you get out of them? It's, right. I mean, I like eye-to-eye contact, but I'm a shaman, so I can like look through the wires and see you, Lana. And yep. Yeah. So what was it, Lana? What's your experience at being a operator? It almost killed you. Yeah, I know. I worked with people for a number of years in suicide. You know, I was more than a suicide hotline guy. I was the suicide intervention guy. And, taxi driver. I lasted 1 week as a New York City taxi driver. You know, back in the 70s or late 60s, they take anybody, right? And I got fired because there were so many complaints. Just, you know, 1 week, that's all I lasted, 1 week. Because I just wanted to know about everything, and also that was the 1 week that I was experimenting. I had access to some really good psychotropics, and I learned how to drive a taxi high on LSD. And it made me an amazing driver, like a race car. You know? When someone would say, "I got to get to the airport by," you know, and their head would be indented into the back seat cover. Just 1 week, lasted 1 week. Between my wanting to know everything about everything and like stopping somewhere in between where it was nice and having a conversation with them. But, you know, we've been talking now. Can't we move it on? Oh, yeah. So I got so many negative responses and no tips. I should have known. Yep. So I did that for 1 week, and again, it was good for my my novel writing career. You know, the thing is, Oasis, yes. The thing is that within a short period of time, I'd say less than 5 years, no one will have a car. No one will have a driver's license. All vehicles on the planet Earth will be an Uber or a Lyft or a corporate or governmentally owned entity that you just hit an app and it'll appear. Right? No one will drive a car, and they will use the excuse, well, you know, everything's automated, we won't have any car accidents, which is true. But those, you know, the car accidents that occur on Earth are the culling of the moron zebras. You know, it's the human beings. You know?
You can sit in
And
So is it?
there's a chair, slide the glass door,
Oh, it's like this.
it looks out over the lake. There's a deck in front, and then the kitchen, you just get up, and you're in the kitchen, it's a little galley kitchen. But the elements in it are all so first class, and it's like not
Yep.
much square footage. but it's
Does he really?
Yeah, it is.
what's your eyes?
You were a fisher, you know, for 2 days, 3 days or something. Of course, those are the cabins. Yeah, it's just for a place to sleep.
Yeah,
And a good place to get
yeah. No, I understand. But anyway, yeah, I don't look at that. He just likes to leave. He wanted us to come up and stuff.
Anyway. Yeah, me too. Working lots of jobs is, that's what gives, that's why you have skill sets, Lena. That's why you do have, skills, because you've worked a lot of jobs, so you've learned a lot of things. For people who get trained for one thing, that's all they do their whole life. That's what a zombie is, people were asking me a while back, what's a zombie? And my response was, zombie, if you want to see a zombie, go to Walmart's. That's a zombie. You want to see a zombie, go to McDonald's. You want to see a zombie, go to, any corporate big box entity, right? And for the folk who, the zombies that are shut in, so the people who shut up on the internet, who get everything delivered to their front door. Anyway.
The funny story in the world though is the deal with RD
So going on 2 hours. So Lena, if you can't come to America and visit me, start taking 3-day, 4-day, 5-day holidays every weekend and go visit the rest of Europe. Just jump on, see if your government still has that thing where they fly you someplace for free. Because I did that for a whole year. That's why I lived in Sweden for a year. Was just to take advantage of that little thing. And what was great about it, when you got on the airplane, you got a visa from a Swedish visa to go to. So I visited places like Iraq, and Afghanistan and Syria and Iran. And these were all times. Syria, they took it out. You were talking, Lena, about how they write the history. Well, there was so much history in Syria and Iraq, they had to have war to blow it all up, right? And the ISIS guys are CIA guys, totally, 100%. Every terrorist group there is basically, not just, the CIA is just a subcontractor. The real entity is the hidden hand, right? And the closest thing you can find to the hidden hand is the Council on Foreign Relations, or go to Cecil Rhodes, people like that, and the Balfour document that made Israel. And find out who the Anunnaki were, and that they came from the Khazarian tribes. See, there are the Hebrew tribes, and then the Zionists. The Zionists are the Anunnaki, and they're the Jewish people. Where did the Jewish people come from? They were jewelers. were the people who came into Europe with the bling, like Mr. Rothschild. You know? And he got to own every bank and every utility on the planet because he owned the bling. And I don't believe anything I say. Everything I say is here to entertain, right? It's for you to do the homework, right? I'm just your griot. I just tell you stories, right?
I've seen us on the way to the extra 45 minutes and you walk out there and Karen said, this is it. This is the water.
Well, you know, every country is good, bad, indifferent, and ugly. You know? And Sweden, I lived there a year, so I know it better than most Americans. And I lived out in a little town called Forshuga. I mean, a little, you know, between Gutenberg and your capital. And so I love Sweden. But I was there when the big brouhaha between the Social Democrats and the Green Party. The Green Party never got any more than 3%. And then, you know, the Liberal Democrats wanted, or Social Democrats, or whatever they were called, wanted to build a nuclear power plant and to Agent Orange the whole country to get rid of the birch trees. Gutenberg here. And Forshuga was in a little town in between Stockholm and Gutenberg, right on that road that goes between the two, right in the middle. Little teeny town. Stockholm, Gutenberg, yep. Yeah. I only got 4 teeth left, and I'm not speaking Swedish that well. But it's right in the middle. Right? And it was like 1974, so that's quite a few years ago. And the thing about Sweden that I loved was the openness of the Swedish people, right? And the fact that I was trying to learn Swedish, and I was trying to, my buddy was a Boston Southie who had moved to Sweden because he married a Swedish woman to get away from the draft. And he could speak Swedish better than Swedish people. And he was a musician. He learned all of their old folk tales. I mean, he had a great living playing that. You know, when ABBA was the big thing in Sweden, he was playing, 1,100-year-old folk tales. And he had 2 beautiful children. And all was good, and then he tried to kill himself a number of times. And that's why I ended up there, because she called, hey, you got to get here. You and he, what he needs one of your vacations. So I went there and put him on a 1-year vacation. I mean, we went and sang in countries all over the place, but, well, you've been there your whole life, so. I mean, the Swedish people couldn't believe that I was an American. I said, you're not American. And I said, yeah, well, where are you from? New York. Oh, see, you're not an American. They all thought New York was a different country. Slovenian, I like that, Slovenian, yep. And the thing about me, everyone sees me as they see me. So that's why no one can, I don't fit into anyone's category. So I love the openness of the Swedish people. That you were between, Sweden is between Finland and Norway. And the Finns are nuts. I mean, and the thing is, they're nuts if you're not in Finland. If you're in Finland, everyone's Finnish, and then it's kind of normal. But they, outside of that, it's just like Swedish people. When Swedish people go to live in other parts of the world, they're wild and crazy. And that's why I love this gig where I would get on an airplane in Stockholm and end up in any place around the world with a bunch of Swedish people who were gray. I mean, they were just gray people. You know? Whereas the Swedish guys who would pick us up would be wild and crazy, and they'd see me with a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots and lime green shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and mirror. Some like, hey, who are you? You're our kind of guy. And so after we put the boring people to bed at 8 o'clock, we go out to nightclubs, right? So, Finland is, and that's the other amazing thing about, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. They're all in the same geodome, but they're totally separate. Strange countries. They got the heart. Like I said, they're insane, right? I mean, every time I'd hitchhike through Europe and I had an army jacket that had an Irish flag on one side and a Finnish flag on the other, like the two most, neutralists. The Swedish are so neutral that they are renegade. They're not renegade, but they're. And the thing about Swedish folk is they have this semi-attitude that their poop doesn't stink, that they know better, that they're the perfect ones. We have a perfect country, whereas the Finns and the Norwegians are wild and crazy. We are wild and crazy, and they go with that. Yes. So, but I love that whole little bioregion up there. So anyway, I lived in Sweden when there was that thing, and then the Green Party won landslide because they said, if you put us in power, we won't, our Agent Orange the birch trees out of existence, and we won't build a nuclear power plant, right? And one of the amazing things back in the day when I lived in Sweden only had TV from 6 p.m. to midnight. That was it. No TV the rest of the day. And it would be boring TV, And this is the sex life of the, the Swedish whoops hornet, and they'd spend 3 hours on that, and that would be the end of TV. And so, and that was probably the best kind of TV you should have, right? And then they'd have that Swedish director who has all these movies about death. The last half hour would be one of his movies. And that was TV, Swedish TV. And so, and if you had TV, they taxed it up the kazoo. They came around and if they saw the antenna on your roof. They are my heart, but you shouldn't lie. I never lie, right? I know. I just tell stories. It's up to you whether I lie or not. Crusader, orators. Good. Okay. But I love Gothenburg. And I love Stockholm. Stockholm is, I have issue with things that are super organized. And I guess maybe that might be one of my issues. See, and the other thing, I was in Sweden in 1974. 74, 75, which was, and things have totally changed. And that's one reason I don't really travel that much around the world anymore, is that when I have, in 05 and 06, I got to go to conferences, and as my last hurrah as being a privileged scholar. And I went to all these countries that I lived in, and they were totally different. They were no longer that place I loved, Jamaica, Tortola, Ireland, London, Paris, Brussels, all these countries, which were mostly cities. There were no longer those countries anymore. It was sad.
Oh, they've got a.
It's what it is. Let's see. It's 1:30.
We watched. We watched.
Yeah, to Bora Bora. Yeah, well, I went to Australia. Yeah, Australia's. Even when I was there, because I was living in multi dimensions when I lived in Australia and New Zealand. So I saw what it was. But, I was in parts of Australia and also Brazil and South America, where I was the first white person that the indigenous people had to see. So right now, none of that exists because those folks have already left. It's like Elvis. Elvis has left the building. Those folks have left the dimension. They're waiting for things to cool down. Because, they don't want to be here in this 18 months/18 year point of reference. Yeah, Australia is scary. It really is. And I was right there at that point of innocence and scariness. I mean, it was always scary because the people who owned everything were guys like Rupert Murdoch, And, the basic personality there was an illusion. Yes. I mean, when you go into a pub in Melbourne, and in every stall, there's a big sign that says, by law, you have to check out the toilet bowl before you crap in it, because there's a little, red-backed spider. It's about this big. And if it bites you in the ass, you're dead in 3 minutes. And they live on the toilet bowls and they live on the inside rim. So, unless you got, a mirror and a flashlight, you're not really going to tell. But, in Melbourne, 10, 15 people a year get bit in the ass by a red-backed spider and are found dead because they're already drunk. They go in there, they get bit, and they just kind of nod out and die, Most people don't check the toilet. Yep. In the ass. Yep. But I lived almost a whole year in the outback. I mean, way out back, out in the Nukunbah, on this place called Christmas. There were no white people. I lived with this tribe that came to visit me in flight 007 before I got to Australia. I had a psychic vision when I crossed the boundary of the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Looking down, and the blue bowl was going clockwise, and then it slowed down and went back the other way as we crossed over, at almost 500 miles an hour. And it was like, what? And then all of a sudden I was in outer space, and all these stars floating around me, and all these ancient creatures were talking to me. And I was in the toilet for a good 40 minutes until the airline stewardess knocked on the door and said, "Are you all right, sir?" And this had probably happened to more than just me. And then 2 years later, I was out with these guys, and the person, when I met up with that first Aborigine who was waiting for me to show up off the bus, he said, "So how'd you like your first night in Australia?"
They probably live a long time.
Wise propaganda. They are superior and educated system. Yes. Yep. America is distasteful. The one word, distasteful. That's pretty much it. It's my Maxo. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm at captain's table.
Not a good day. Not a good time to be a fan.
Captain's table, up on 63, heading towards Hampton. You know, this place, it either has fair food or excellent food, depending on who they hire as chef for the season, right? And they got a really good chef. So I had their clam chowder was like one of the best. And I had their fish, which was excellent. And it cost me all of about $14. Yeah. And you know the view that you get. So. And they have the internet and the phone. So this is my communication spot.
When they get to argue about any word,
So
Cacadera is that fish with big teeth.
I don't even know what it is.
I think it is. I don't
where are you now?
I'll be right back with that, so I'll bring it back. Sure. Yeah, cocktail with tartar sauce.
Yeah, in my neighborhood. Yeah, yeah.
I'll be back with
He's very good.
and some tartar sauce.
No, Chad. His name is Chad. Yeah, another Chad. There, you know, that must have been popular because there were a whole bunch of guys around that age who were named Chad. There's four of them that I know, like, you know, within a 6 mile holler. You named your boy Chad. I'm going to name my boy Chad. No. Anyway, man, you know, you put my cover back on. You know, I left that cover off reason because I hadn't finished doing what I was doing with that panel, right? And I was the only one guy who was going to stick his hand in there. And you put the cover back on with these stupid knobby things that I can't even find a driver for. Yeah, but it's not a, you know, it's not a flathead. It's not a Phillips. It's a knob. You know, you need a driver. No. It's one of those raised things that, you know, the driver goes over it, like, you know, that you have on your tire. Yeah, exactly. So I can't even get the freaking cover off because, well, you know my place. Good luck with finding one. I probably have 12 sets. Finding that one. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just ignoring it for the moment because it's intermittent. The freaking thing comes on, it goes off. It goes on, it goes off. The circuit. Yes. The circuit comes on and off. That's why I want access to the circuit breaker panel so I can observe the circuits. And I can't at this moment, so I'm just ignoring it. Along with the fact my water doesn't work and the little rascally reptile raccoons are still rummaging through everything. Yeah, it's their place, not mine. It's their place. Well, okay, are you gonna come visit again? Okay. Well, I'm gonna probably be here until next Saturday. Saturday or Sunday of next week, I'll probably go back because I have some teeth to work on, and I had to have emergency dental surgery. So that $20 you gave me just paid the backside of that dental surgery. But it was good that you gave it to me so I could get it. But anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I'll talk to you later, buddy. I always loved hearing you. And that guy's name is Chad, and he's on that back road heading towards, Dry Hill store. Oh, and the Dry Hill store almost tried to murder me. I ended up in the hospital because of the Dry Hill store. Yeah, the door slammed on my leg, nearly cut it off. No. Luckily, I was wearing my big Frankenstein shoes, and it didn't do anything. But if I was wearing just a regular pair of shoes, it would have chopped my leg right off. Yep. And so, so they made me go to the hospital, and they called an ambulance because they were worrying about their insurance. And that little thing might cost me $1,000, which will cost them $1,000. Anyway, so that was my excitement for the week. I'm going to let you go. Catch you later. Okay. That was my good buddy Max. Let's see what you guys. Uncle Pugna's in America. Mongrel. German, Dutch, etc. Protestant, heavy metal, drug casualty. Well, aren't us all? The only reason I'm not a drug casualty is that I was allergic to every drug. So I couldn't do anything. I was right in the midst of it all. Worked in the music industry, the disco industry, the theater industry. And I didn't do any drugs because I couldn't. I was the only person I ever knew who overdosed on smoking a joint. And it was just marijuana, nothing else. Well, Martin, you have to kind of understand what the migration problem is. It's a vehicle artificially manifested. People should be able to go wherever they want to, but not have to be pushed out of their home. I mean, when the hidden hand obliterates a country like Syria and then forces 20 million people to get out, it's not those people's fault. Yeah, divide and conquer. That's the Roman motif. Divide and conquer.
So I got the oyster.
Yep. You don't have to chill, Bugnuts. You can always pop up and say whatever you want. You are good. Everyone on the chat is part of the chorus. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Lana is Lana. She needs no introduction, But Martin, Dawnway? I see the dawn in your picture. My name is besides my comment. Yeah. Who are you? And, our names are never really who we are unless it's given to you by a shaman. Let the cooler heads prevail. Yep. But I'm the chorus. As long as we're nice to each other, we don't have to have a cool head. So here I am. I started out the only one in the dining room, and here I am surrounded by book. Right? And how much time a little. Got 31% left in my old 2 hours and 20 minutes. Well, I'm to mosey on, I think, gang. And just missed a transcendental moment of 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 20 seconds. I think I will skip out at 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds. I don't think Uncle Fugnuts is John Birmingham. No. Though John is John. John's another person who's just who he is. If John had an ulterior motive, he would have to be Albert Einstein. Stupid. Stop doing it. I'm always smiling. Yep. Anyway, getting close to that 22222 moment. Who is Martin? Good question. But it doesn't really matter because we're a no wrench zone here at the chorus. We accept everyone, and everyone has to be on their best behavior. Meaning, the only thing of good behavior is how we treat each other. We have to treat each other as all our relations. We have to treat each other within the construct and the context of love's co-creation. Here we go. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 5 seconds. And why not talk? So, guys, you need to share each other's, Gmails or emails or whatever mails, and talk with each other. And also in your own neighborhoods, you need to start doing, watch this program. Don't even wait for it to be live. Go back to 600 shows, good 600 shows in my YouTube channel, right? Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Alba. And go back and watch them and talk amongst yourselves.
How we ordered hors d'oeuvres. They brought us a plate this big of hors d'oeuvres. And we'd already ordered dinner. Dinner came out.
Okay. I love you guys too. So start trying to build your own communities, your own salons, your own coffee houses, your own art galleries, your own pop-up dinners in your neighbor's house, because how this is going to change is all of us being that little pebble in the pond, right? So I'll keep, look for me in the East. I will continually try and find places of niceness like this. If you come and visit me at the Deep Green, this is my neighborhood. I wish there was Wi-Fi. If you go to my Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Alba channel and go back to the beginning, that's when my phone actually worked pretty good. I could videotape things and take them to the library, and they would upload in minutes. That little 3-minute upload of that blanket on the line took 20 hours to upload. 20 hours. 3 minutes, 20 hours. Because I shamanically was meditating on that blanket, on the thing to represent the essence of love, the freedom of love. And that shamanic energy took 20 hours to load up. Over a year. Really, Mark? Don't get snippy, kids. Come on. We're all members of the chorus here. And Lana, I have to say, about 40, 50 people go on Gmail and talk to me. All they do is watch it. A lot of them watch it in the past tense, which I keep telling people to go take a look at all the past shows. I have a good 50 or 60 guided meditations. And Martin, Lana is not pushy and off-putting. She's just Lana. You gotta Kind of have to understand that. And Lanny have to understand, why is Martin, he's sensitive. If Martin is even, see, I have no idea what gender half you guys are. Martin could be, short for Martina. Who knows? Yes, come on. We're all part of the chorus. We all have different voices. Come on, man. You almost make me think you're a comedian writing this stuff. Yep. I would love to have Martin. I'd love to have all of you. How many are you? All three of you around a fire tonight. So I'm going to be around. If it doesn't rain, I'm going to make a fire tonight. And that's usually around 7 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time, which makes it whatever time you guys are. And I will see you, okay? I will see you. Because I love you all, right? And I'm going to say, I'll see you tonight. And I'll try again. Maybe tomorrow or definitely Monday. Monday in the morning, a.m. sometime, because I have to go to my dental surgeon. And then I'll be in a part of town that I can go. And it'll be the fancy smancy place to have breakfast. And I'm sure they have Wi-Fi there. So it'll be like 11 or 12, maybe somewhere between 10 and noon. I want to have a waffle. I have very nice waffles. Thanks, gang. I love you all. Okay, I'm going to sign off here. Boop, 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 boop.